This past weekend in Sydney, Australia, the 2026 Pokemon Go Sydney Regional Championships were held. With any regional level event, the stakes are massive as the winner gets a guaranteed ticket to the World Championships in August, and there's thousands of dollars in cash prizes available for those who place highly. Normally for videos like these, I tend to focus on the winner of the event, but today I'm actually going to be talking about what it takes for a competitor to try and fight back against a near insurmountable team comp disadvantage. And the trainer we're going to be showcasing today is They Love Jai. The first match we'll be taking a look at is the Losers Finals, They Love Jai versus Pokemoneymaker. Jai's team consists of Corsola, Gastrodon, Shadow, Alolan Ninetales, Licky, Galarian Moltres, and Bug-Bite Fortress. Pokemoneymaker's team has Corsola, Licky, Shadow Marowak, Corviknight, Credilli, and Shadow Annihilate. Now, what about this matchup makes it so catastrophically bad for Jai? Well, I reached out to a fellow Championship Series competitor, Sceptile Ice, to help explain it. And to paraphrase what Sceptile said, the big problem in this matchup is the Shadow Annihilate. Jai realistically only has one hard counter to Annihilate, and that is Galarian Corsola. However, Galarian Corsola is completely hard checked by Licky. This makes this matchup extremely difficult for Jai. Jai ideally would love to bring Fortress for the Licky, but Fortress gets so completely obliterated by Annihilate that it's a very unsafe bring unless you get it right and you align Corsola onto the Annihilate. So this forces Jai into relying on more neutral Pokemon into that Annihilate. Gastrodon, the Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales, and the Galarian Moltres. The problem is all three of those Pokemon have lose conditions into the Annihilate. So Annihilate can just punch through any of those and then end up aligning the Corsola onto the Licky. So for Jai, this matchup is very tough. It's all about alignment, and if alignment is ever lost, then Jai is probably going to lose the game. But Pokemoneymaker doesn't really need switch advantage. Instead, Pokemoneymaker can very safely run, let's say for example, Shadow Annihilate, Licky, and Corviknight, and always have neutral play, no matter where they get aligned. The battlers lock in for game number 1 of the Losers Finals. They Love Jai leading Shadow Alolan Ninetales into Licky. Even though Alolan Ninetales does take super effective damage from rollout, in this matchup, this would be what we would consider a neutral matchup. Because despite the super effective damage taken, Alolan Ninetales does actually have win conditions in this matchup. Jai has not brought the Corsola, deeming it far too risky, and instead has a backline of Licky plus Galarian Moltres. Alolan Ninetales will be able to hit back hard, as Shadow Weather Ball will inflict some pretty significant damage. Ninetales going for another Weather Ball. It looks like it may be enough to secure the knockout here. Pokemoneymaker is going to no shield, and Licky hangs on, 1 HP remaining, but Jai makes a terrific catch, catching the Shadow Ball onto Licky. This is double resisted, but unfortunately this Licky is about to get crushed by Shadow Annihilate. Shadow Annihilate hits the field, the Body Slam bait comes out from Jai, but unfortunately, the Annihilate should be able to shield this and fully counter down. Licky, even with the bait, he knows he's not going to make it to that Shadow Ball. Moneymaker knows it as well. And even with catching a double resisted move, Jai is just so far behind. That's the power of Annihilate in this matchup. Annihilate exits absolutely loaded on energy, and in comes Galarian Moltres. Galarian Moltres does offer a ton of fast move pressure in this matchup. The Rage Fist bait gets shielded. Annihilate gonna go for yet another Rage Fist, just looking to ramp up as much as it possibly can. Jai knows he needs to protect the Moltres, so he will put up the shield and attempt to Sucker Punch down. It's gonna be close. Annihilate is able to hang on, surviving the Sucker Punches and making it to a double boosted Rage Fist. This Rage Fist is resisted, but it is going to be putting the Moltres very low. Aggressive pivot into the Ninetales to snipe down. In the back is Corviknight, and unfortunately this is a rare moment when Sand Attack will actually do damage. Sand Attack is going to allow a full farm down for Pokemoneymaker. Weather Ball lands onto the Corviknight, but Corviknight still has the shield to hide behind. In comes Galarian Moltres, all the energy in the world, but the Corviknight still has the shield. So Moltres is going to get KO'd, and that is a pretty dominant Game 1 win for Pokemoneymaker, showing just how much of an advantage he has in this matchup. The battlers lock in for game number 2. Jai leads Galarian Moltres into the Shadow Annihilate, and Jai has actually brought the Corsola, but unfortunately the gamble did not pay off. Corsola is not on the Annihilate, and now this Corsola could potentially be dead weight in the back. Annihilate farms up to the Ice Punch, goes for the Rage Fist bait, and that's a terrific immediate no shield from Jai. Jai calls that it is only going to be the Rage Fist firing off the fly as Pokemoneymaker looks to ramp up this Annihilate, and really make life difficult. Jai's going to get aggressive, pivoting into the Ninetales. Ninetales getting absolutely shredded by these counters. Ninetales already below half HP and forced to give up a shield, as this Rage Fist would be catastrophic. If you're Moneymaker, you're more than happy just to stay in and take all of that double boosted counter damage, as almost the entire Ninetales vanishes in a split second. In comes Licky Licky, and this is an important bait out for Jai. Jai will get some big damage onto the Licky Licky, will make the Weather Ball into the Dazzling Gleam, and this is going to be putting Licky Licky deep into the red HP. Dazzling Gleam connects, Jai gets aggressive, pivoting Corsola into its hardest counter, but there is a method to the madness. Jai wants to shield up the Shadow Ball, double resisted Astonish down, and leave with massive energy for the endgame. But Moneymaker opts out, pivoting in the Corviknight. Corviknight has massive super effective damage available with Payback, but Corsola is so bulky that a Payback will not be enough to secure the KO. Corsola fires off the Nightshade, the no shield from Corviknight, but suddenly, Corviknight is beginning to get low. There's still a lot of health remaining on the Galarian Moltres for Jai as well. Air Cutter is going to connect. Do we see the boost? We do see the boost, and suddenly this Corviknight is looking deadly. This Nightshade will force the final shield. Does Jai ever try and go for a catch? A catch could be game winning, as a boosted Payback will KO. Jai switches to the Ninetales, trying for the catch, but he will not get there. But the Powder Snows did land, which means suddenly the Corviknight is very close to getting KO'd. This boosted Air Cutter, will it be enough? Galarian Moltres. Moltres hangs on. Corviknight trying for a farm down, can't get the farm down, and is forced to go for the Air Cutter. Air Cutter will knock out the Moltres, but the damage is done. Corviknight does not have enough for the Payback. They get another boost. Corsola farms down. Back in comes Licky Licky, and it's getting KO'd by a Power Gem. Somehow, against all odds, Jai fights back, wins Game 2, and we've got a series here in the Losers Finals. The Battlers get ready for game number 3. This is a best-of-5 series, so whoever wins game 3 will be at a big advantage, and that's the lead Jai was hoping to see. Corsola into Shadow Annihilate. We actually see a simultaneous safe switch, the Shadow Alolan Ninetales into Licky Licky. Now, Moneymaker was switching out due to the bad lead. Jai immediately switched, recognizing that the Licky Licky safe switch was coming, and knowing that if the Ninetales is down energy, it cannot hope to keep switch. So that is a perfect prediction by Jai, reading that it was always going to be the Licky Licky safe swap, and by switching out instantly, being behind by no turns, the Ninetales will be able to maintain switch advantage. Unfortunately, this Licky Licky is just simply too bulky. It keeps surviving that final Weather Ball on 1 HP, and that's going to force Jai to go down a shield. Back in comes the Annihilate. Annihilate looking for a counter down that it's never going to get, and they're going to lose almost all of their HP to the Shadow Weather Ball. This is Shadow on Shadow. Weather Ball lands. Ninetales gets the farm down, but loses so much HP along the way. In comes Corsola. Corsola always going to be no shield in the Rage Fist, and this endgame will be the Battle of Flyers, Corviknight versus the Galarian Moltres. Again, it's a simultaneous swap, Jai ensuring that he is never down even a single turn, because in this matchup, a single turn could be the difference between victory and defeat. Air Cutter lands. Corviknight, it looks like, used all of its boost last game. No boost here. And now Corviknight's getting consistently chipped away by this Sucker Punch damage. Even a resisted fly has to be shielded. That's how oppressive the Sucker Punch damage is. Corviknight tries to go for the Air Cutter, but loses charge tech priority to the Moltres. And just like that, in a split second, Corviknight goes from 2 Protect shields down to 0. Jai is always going to be no shielding. The Corviknight did fail to get the boost on the first try. Air Cutter lands. Second one will not knock out unless the Corviknight gets a boost, and it does right then. Corviknight doubles up. This means Jai can never afford to shield the Moltres. Moltres is going to get knocked out. The final shield is being saved for Corsola. Corsola is going to have to try and take home this win. Corviknight is boosted, but a boosted Air Cutter will not knock out from here. Corviknight needs to successfully bait and then make it to a Payback. The bait is successful, getting the shield, no boost this time, but the Payback is not available. Corsola makes the Nightshade. Nightshade is going to be knocking out the Corviknight. All that's left in the back is 1 HP on Annihilate. Annihilate falls to the Astonish damage, and Jai is 1 win away from Grand Finals. The Battlers lock in for game number 4. It's Shadow Alolan Ninetales into Shadow Annihilate. Jai has made an adjustment. The Corsola from games 2 and 3 has been benched in favor of Gastrodon, but Moneymaker has made an adjustment as well. Corviknight is gone, and in its place, Cradilly, which looks to be an absolute terror into the Moltres Gastrodon backline for Jai. Annihilate overfarms massively, CMP tying Rage Fist with Weather Ball number 2. Ninetales is going to be shielding. It wants to try and remove Annihilate from the field of play, but Annihilate has other ideas. Annihilate's going to double shield, boost itself up, look to counter all the way down, and inflict some pretty significant damage on whatever gets brought in. So now all shields are down, which is where Credilli wants to be. In comes Galarian Moltres, but Moltres can't get the Sucker Punch down before the boosted Ice Punch will guarantee the shield. But now Moltres does have an energy head start. Moneymaker has to decide. You send in Credilli or the Licky Licky. He brings in Credilli. Credilli trying to race to the Rock Tomb, but the Moltres is too far ahead. Moltres over farms, playing perfectly to the CMP tie. Brave Bird to the Rock Tomb. Brave Bird is an incredibly powerful attack. It connects, not enough to knock out the Credilli, but it leaves it in farm down range for the Gastrodon. So the Moltres has been sacrificed to clear the path for Gastrodon. There's the reveal. It's Licky Licky in the back, and this is what Gastrodon was hoping to see. Licky Licky will fire off the Shadow Ball, but the thing to watch for will be Gastrodon's health bar. Is it at half HP? No, it is not. It's still in the green. And that means that a second Shadow Ball will fail to take the knockout, and Gastrodon farms up to the Water Pulse plus Body Slam. This next Shadow Ball will not be enough to KO, but Licky Licky's not going to have the chance. As Gastrodon makes it to the Body Slam, winning charge stack priority, Body Slam will be taking the knockout. Now Poke Moneymaker has to hope that this Credilli can make a move, but it just took too much damage from the Brave Bird. Gastrodon farms down, Jai does the impossible, and he's on to Grand Finals. Unfortunately, if you thought the Losers Finals matchup was bad, wait until you see the Grand Finals matchup. The Grand Finals is Jumathy fresh off a win in Auckland, and Jumathy's team comp advantage is even stronger over Jai than Poke Moneymaker's. Jumathy's team consists of Shadow Marowak, Shadow Annihilate, Altaria, Licky Licky, Empoleon, and Wigglytuff. So the Annihilate, much like the Moneymaker matchup, is a huge problem, as Annihilate can beat 5 of the 6 Mons, with the only exception being Corsola. However, in that series against Poke Moneymaker, Jai was able to rely heavily on Galarian Moltres to be a neutral pick. That's a big problem here, because Jumathy has not one but 2 normal types, making it harder to run Corsola, and the second normal type is Wigglytuff, which also completely destroys Galarian Moltres. So this means that Jai is really limited in terms of neutral play, honestly far more limited than in that initial series versus Poke Moneymaker. To make things worse, Jai is coming out of the loser side of the bracket, which means if Jai wants to be crowned champion, Jai is going to have to win 2 best of 5s against Jumathy, as Jumathy has not dropped a single set in this entire tournament. The battle is locked in for game number 1 of Grand Finals. We've got dueling fairy types, Shadow Alolan Ninetales versus the Wigglytuff. Ninetales will have a massive pacing advantage. Ninetales going to look to overfarm an incredible amount of energy, and it's going to be Jumathy striking first with the Swift. Swift will not be enough to knock out, and Jai knows it. Jai is going to be no shielding, going for the Weather Ball, but there's the quick switch by Jumathy into the Licky Licky, getting the rollout through and absorbing that Weather Ball damage. Now, Jai only has one option, and that's to bring in the Fortress. Jai knows the Annihilate will be brought every single game, and he has to throw away the Fortress on a matchup that is not the Annihilate. This preserves the Gastrodon to be able to, at the very least, hit for neutral damage with fast move pressure onto that Annihilate. Licky Licky makes the Shadow Ball, but loses charge attack priority. Rock Tomb is going to be securing the knockout for Jai. Now, this means the Shadow Annihilate can look to ramp up. The good news for Jai is Jai will make a Sand Tomb. A Sand Tomb means that the Mud Slaps from Gastrodon momentarily are going to hit for way too much damage, and that can actually force Jumathy off the field back into the Wigglytuff. So Annihilate does get a pretty healthy energy head start, but it's going to have to pivot out as in comes Gastrodon. Gastrodon racing, trying to get to the Water Pulse, but it cannot get there before the Icy Wind is available. Icy Wind shielded up by the Gastrodon. Gastrodon has to shield something, but unfortunately with the debuff, it looks like the Gastrodon cannot Mud Slap down. The Mud Slaps just don't hit as hard as they used to. That forces Gastrodon to throw the Body Slam, and Jumathy knows the win con is 2 shield Shadow Annihilate. Annihilate hits the field, boosting up its damage with the Rage Fist. Jai is forced to shield. There is a Weather Ball available on the Ninetales, but unfortunately Gastrodon, even if it successfully Body Slam baits, is never going to make it to a Water Pulse to force the final shield. In fact, it's only going to make it to a Body Slam, and if Jumathy's counts are accurate, Jumathy will know and be able to click no shield. How well has Jumathy been counting? Jumathy puts up the shield, and suddenly there's a win con for Jai. The switch, the snipe, but no, Jumathy reads it. Redemption for the miscount. Reads the snipe attempt, denies it with the Rage Fist CMP tie. Rage Fist KOs. Gastrodon gets countered down, and that's going to be a Game 1 win for Jumathy. We've got double lock-ins for game number 2, Gastrodon on the lead for Jai into Wigglytuff for Jumothy. This is a pretty negative lead for Jai. And if Jai loses lead, that means that Fortress in the back is going to get aligned onto its hardest counter in the matchup, Shadow Annihilate, which pretty much instantly ends the game. Jai full sends the Water Pulse, hoping for a bait call, but Jumothy's not going to let that happen. Jumothy puts up the shield, going to farm up to the back-to-back Swifts and charm it into a range where Swift will secure the KO. Jai knows he can't really afford to shield in this matchup, so he's just going to let this go and instead use the defensive typing of Fortress to neutralize this energy. Jumothy banks the energy, gets aggressive, pivots into the Annihilate, but that's going to cost him as now out comes the Ninetales. Ninetales has such a pacing advantage. Jai was pretty quick on that counter switch as well, and this means that Jai will be able to reach back-to-back Weather Balls before the second Rage Fist. This means that Jumothy can never shield the Annihilate because Annihilate's getting knocked out either way. So Jumothy just lets the Annihilate go. Weather Ball will take the knockout. Back in comes the Wigglytuff, but now it's Wigglytuff's turn to get outpaced. The pacing on the Ninetales just absolutely relentless. Ninetales' Weather Ball will force the shield. Jumothy farming up to the back-to-back Swifts. Jai now has to decide. Jai's going to be putting up the shield here, but Jumothy has another Swift locked and loaded, and Jai makes the catch, able to save the Ninetales, catching onto the Fortress, and Jai is clawing his way back in this game. There's the reveal. It's Licky Licky in the back. Immediate Rock Tomb debuff applied by Jai. Jai knows that he needs to get as much damage onto this Licky Licky as he possibly can. Rock Tomb is going to land. Unfortunately, Rock Tomb does not do half of Licky Licky's HP, but big thing here is the bug bite damage. The bug bites chewing through the health bar of Licky Licky, getting it closer and closer to the red HP. Can he make the Rock Tomb? Yes, he can. Oh my goodness, the energy management from Jai. He gets the Rock Tomb on charge stack priority, knocking out the Licky Licky. Back in comes the Wigglytuff. These bug bites adding up. There's the switch into the Ninetales, and Ninetales would have got the farm down. That forces Wigglytuff to throw the Swift. And in doing so, this sets up one bug bite from Fortress to secure the knockout, and Jai gets the equalizer in this best-of-5 series. The battlers lock in for this very important game number 3. Jai leads Galarian Corsola into a brick wall named Wigglytuff. This is a nightmare lead. Jai safe switches into the Ninetales, but on this line of 3, Jumothy does not have a good answer to a Ninetales up energy. Even Shadow Annihilate does not want to switch in down energy, as Ninetales has the potential to flip it. Ninetales lands the Weather Ball. That's big damage onto this Wigglytuff. And for Jai, Jai is more than happy to put up the shield. Jai needs to neutralize this Wigglytuff no matter the cost to hopefully free up the Corsola. Ninetales not going to get a farm down quite yet. Going to be forced to fire off the Weather Ball. Does Jumothy want to play for switch advantage? Jumothy does, because Jumothy has the Annihilate in the back. And suddenly Jai knows that he will be able to win switch advantage. And switch advantage means Corsola can actually find its target. However, what Jai does not know is that it is Altaria in the back, and Altaria will be an absolute catastrophe for that Gastrodon. Jai fires off the Dazzling Gleam, the no-shield from Jumothy. He's putting it all on Altaria. Jai aggressively pivots into the Gastrodon. He assumed it was Licky Licky in the back, but it was not. It's the Altaria, and suddenly things are not so clear. He has to try and make very aggressive reads in this matchup. He can't afford to give away any extra turns. He was assuming it was the Licky Licky and that the Corsola was useless, but it was not. The Corsola was hyper strong, and suddenly this Gastrodon is in quite a lot of trouble. Gastrodon gonna be spamming out Body Slam after Body Slam, getting little bits of chip damage, but this Gastrodon looks like it's getting fully farmed down before it makes another move. It's going to be very, very close. Can Gastrodon hang on? No, it cannot. And it's all up to Corsola. Corsola, unfortunately, so far behind in terms of energy. The Corsola is full HP, but if Altaria is able to make a third Sky attack, that plus the Dragon Breath will come pretty close to knocking out. The Altaria taking some pretty considerable damage. The Ninetales is very, very low, but the Ninetales is still alive. The question is, can a Powder Snow or 2 land from the Ninetales? Corsola farming up, watching for a catch that is not going to happen. The Sky attack is reached. Will this be enough to KO the Corsola? Corsola is able to hang on, barely. Down goes the Corsola. In comes the Ninetales. Powder Snow's going through. Who got KO'd? It was the Altaria. Jai survives, and he's up 2-1. And Jai is 1 win away from a bracket reset and a fresh best-of-5 series. They lock in for game 4. It's the dream lead for Jai, Corsola into Annihilate, and a simultaneous safe switch, Alolan Ninetales into Licky Licky. This is, again, such a high-level play from Jai, recognizing that there is no way to beat the Licky Licky if the Ninetales is behind energy. If Jai waits to see what gets safe swapped, it's too late. Licky Licky's up energy, and it will have the pacing advantage and win the matchup. But by switching instantly, by hard reading, this is what has to be the safe switch. Jai has put himself in a spot where he will be able to retain switch advantage. Weather Ball is going to be shielded up by the Licky Licky. Ninetales continues to farm. An alignment throw from Jumothy does give a free Powder Snow over to Jai. Now Jai has to try and predict. Will Jumothy throw an alignment? Will he go for good timing? He predicts the alignment, but Jumothy goes for good timing, and that free rollout that sneaks means that Jumothy will win switch advantage. That's a 50-50 call for Jai, and unfortunately, he did not get it right. That means switch advantage is lost with the free rollout. Licky Licky doubles up. Jai has to let it go, and losing switch advantage could be catastrophic, as it's the Wigglytuff in the back lurking for that Corsola. To add insult to injury, Gastrodon can't even farm down without the Shadow Ball being reached. In comes Shadow Annihilate. These counters are adding up. Gastrodon continues to farm. Jumothy tries the CMP tie, but in doing so, he gives a free Mud Slap. That free Mud Slap may put the Annihilate into Water Pulse range. Jai believes so, and Jai goes for the Undertap. Is this enough damage? It has to be for Jai to have a chance. Water Pulse lands. Down goes Annihilate. In comes the Wigglytuff. Can it get the charm down? It cannot. Gastrodon hangs on, makes the Water Pulse, and this is catastrophic damage to that Wigglytuff. Water Pulse lands. Down goes Gastrodon, but the damage is done. Corsola is about to get revenge on one of its hardest counters in the entire game. Wigglytuff throws the Icy Wind, but Wigglytuff relies on its typing to win this matchup. It can never really output meaningful damage. Even at -1, this Power Gem is going to hit for critical damage onto the Wigglytuff. Power Gem lands, Wigglytuff hangs on, Corsola gets the Astonish down, and Jai takes the series 3-1 and forces the bracket reset. These two best-of-5 series are probably some of my favorite that I've seen from the Championship Series in quite some time. It felt like a true Cinderella story. The underdog at a massive team comp disadvantage that got worse in Series number 2, managing to dig deep and find a way and win back-to-back series. Now the question is, did Jai end up winning the entire tournament? Unfortunately, he did not. In the bracket reset, the clock struck midnight, and Jumothy was able to secure the 3-0 win to be crowned the Sydney Regional Champion. Now, Jumothy has won back-to-back tournaments, which is a massive accomplishment, so many props to him. I normally feature in my videos the trainer who won the tournament, but seeing that losers finals and the first best-of-5 in grand finals, it felt like this was the story that I wanted to tell. Even if it didn't end with the ending that Jai was hoping for, I think there's so much to learn from watching him play, as he had to play nearly flawlessly in these games to even have a chance to overcome these massive team comp disadvantages. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Home Slice Henry, and this is More Slice Henry, my second channel where I make content primarily related to the Championship Series, educational content, and just any content that I feel doesn't fit on my channel. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you have not, and I'll see you guys next week.